Today we are taking an in-depth tour of my wardrobe planner in Notion. I briefly shared about this page in my 2025 Notion tour and lots of you were super interested in it. So if you want to recreate this in your Notion workspace, this video is for you. And of course, I had to give you a free template as well, so be sure to check out the description below to grab your copy. My original goal with this page was to create a capsule wardrobe with some seasonal variability. Since the temperature here in Oklahoma ranges from death in the summer to freezing in the winter, I needed more than just to be able to add or remove layers for comfortability. But as a disclaimer, this project has pretty much come to a standstill for me. Now that I'm pregnant, I'm really just trying to find clothes that are comfortable and will get me through this season, and I am planning to pick this project back up next year. But that being said, let's take a look at this setup in Notion. So of course, I have a system for how this page works and how I plan out my seasonal outfit choices. So it might feel like we're gonna go a little bit out of order here when I'm showing you what's going on with these pages, but I promise it'll make sense. So where this all actually begins is over here in the seasonal planning. So I have a page for each of the 4 seasons, and this is kind of where I go in and actually do my planning for what I want to be wearing that specific season. For today, I'm going to pop into the fall page so we could take a look at what that looked like. And this is what I planned out for last fall, so 2024. So the first thing I actually do is I start with inspiration for the season. And I always go to Pinterest first to kind of see what is in style. But what I try to do is I pick things that look a little bit more timeless and classic and things that I can wear with multiple different pieces or multiple different outfits so that I am trying to make best use of all of the different pieces that I end up collecting and not just grabbing one-off things that I'm going to wear like one time and be done with it. So I browse Pinterest, I find a bunch of inspo, and then I grab that board and I actually embed it into my Notion workspace right here so I can actually do the rest of my planning. As you can see, I can easily scroll the board and actually see all the pins from here too. And I do actually have a short on how to embed Pinterest boards, so be sure to check that out if you're not sure that process. And I'll be sure to link my Pinterest below too if you want to steal any of my outfit inspo. Once I have this in Notion, I actually come over here and I start making notes about what I liked with the Pinterest board and what I kind of want to emulate with it. So as you can see, I have said that I really like the mix of ripped jeans and non-ripped. I want to have a little bit of variety there for depending on if it's a more formal event or if it's more casual. I really actually surprised myself with liking the Birks with the socks look because I used to hate that, but I thought it was kind of cute, especially with like the little ruffle socks and things like that. I also noted that I really need some new shoes. I only have like one pair of tennis shoes at the moment that I was like doing the planning. Thankfully now I have a few more because I picked up some more staples, but that was a big priority for me. I also noted things that I wasn't like incredibly in love with because that made sure that I could prioritize what it was I was purchasing first and leave other things to the end in case I really ended up not wanting them, or if it wasn't in the budget that I could just skip those things. So by the end of all the planning here, I generally had a really good idea of what it was that I really needed to buy and look into, and what I really wasn't too sure that I wanted and could put a little bit lower on the item list. But before I actually started my shopping, I will say that I go to my closet and I try to make as many outfits as I can from this board with what I already have. That helps me make sure that I wasn't buying anything unnecessarily and that I was trying to use what I already had in my closet before going and buying new things. So then from there, I went ahead and I used this little button to add an item to my wish list. This button actually adds items to my task list. My to buy list is actually part of my task list, and the reason I integrated the two things is because I could assign a due date to something if I really needed to buy it in a certain time frame. But otherwise, the lists do typically stay a little bit separate in my space. It's just really if I ever need to assign a due date. So typically when I add an item, I'll include a link if I found something online that works for that specific item. I try to include an image of what it is that I'm looking for so I can make sure to get the closest to what it is that I really want. And then I also prioritize those items so I can get the top of my wish list first and work down to the bottom. Inside of my seasonal page here, when I scroll down a little bit, anything that I add to my wish list shows up here in this list of clothes to buy for this specific season. And then I also have this little space here for fall outfits. So the idea with this is that when I would create an outfit from all the things that I had bought or I had in my closet, I would take a picture of it so that I can come back and reference this whenever I'm like, oh, I don't know what to wear. However, this does work best when you actually remember to take pictures of your outfits. That's not something that I was super great about. But the few that I did get pictures of, I have one right here. This is actually what I wore for my brand photos. And then I also have one that was a little bit more casual here. And when you actually take a look at the Pinterest board that I have, you can see these were directly inspired from some of the pins that I had pinned on there. And so I think I did like a pretty decent job of actually recreating these. So I'm pretty proud of how it worked. So this process does really help, and it actually pulls together outfits that you are looking to create. So just for another example, we can take a look at my winter planning page. So again, I did the same thing. I created a little inspo board of what I was looking for the winter. And then I wrote down all of my thoughts on all of these different things that I had pinned, added some things to my wish list, and then I ended up buying some things. I will say that I didn't buy as much in the winter as I ended up buying in the fall because Oklahoma winters are pretty short. They're quick and they're cold, but spring comes pretty rapidly, and so I really didn't need all that much clothing for this winter. The nice thing about winter too is that you can use a lot of what you purchased in the fall. So this is one outfit that I managed to capture a picture of. My boots and the shirt that you can't see were actually things that I had purchased in the fall, and I actually think my jeans were as well. But I did get this coat specifically for winter. I thought we were looking super cute in this picture, and my husband was looking pretty cute too, so we were rocking the look here. So I did add this picture in as one of my inspo outfits, but again, not super great about taking pictures of what I was wearing, so I need to remember to do that next year. On the front page, I also have a view of my closet, and this is separated by season. So again, I haven't done spring, and I'm not going to be doing summer this year, but I do have fall showing and winter here as well, so I can easily pop into this page and take a look at the outfits that I have if I really need inspiration on what to wear. I also like that I have categorized these by the style, so as you can see, it's going to show casual or preppy casual, kind of depending on how I have tagged these. So I can easily look at these different tags and say, okay, I want to be a little bit more casual today. Here are my options. I also wanted to take note if there were things that I could swap to make it just a little bit different. So as you can see, I said I can swap any sweater for this specific outfit because it will work. The rest of it's very neutral. So that makes it easy for me to kind of mix and match things too. And just a little trick, you might have noticed this. What I do to keep these images clean on this page is I don't add a title to the pages. And the way that that works is that when it shows, it literally just shows the picture as the gallery. So then I don't have to like see all of the titles in that. And I do think that kind of keeps things a little bit more clean too. So that's a little tip for you. At the top, I also do have some shopping faves that I wanted to make note of. So if I'm thinking of different places that I want to start looking for clothes, these help me get started with that. They're just some of my favorite places to go, so I like to pin those here. And then at the bottom of the main page, I also have my wish list showing, so I can easily see what it is that I want to buy for the season that we're in. And again, it is prioritized by high, medium, and low, so I can make sure to get the highest priority items first and work my way down. I only managed to make it through 2 seasons of this before I ended up getting pregnant, but I will say that this was really helpful for me. And it actually made me feel really confident in what I was wearing because I had taken the time to decide what I wanted my looks to be and be really intentional about the outfit planning. So I do highly recommend this process. So that is my Notion wardrobe planner. I hope to get more use out of it in the future when I get back to my seasonal outfit planning. But I hope in the meantime, you can at least take some ideas from this and create your own wardrobe planner. Or if you just want to steal mine, you can grab it down in the description too. In the next video, I'm going to be talking all about the new tabbed layouts update for Notion databases. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. Until then, you can check out the rest of my Notion setup in my 2025 tour right here. I'll see you guys in the next one.